I'm Pete Mitchell, nicknames Maverick. My first video, really excited to have you here. We're gonna show a few of the cars that I have right now. Let's share not just cars, Cuban cigars, men's fashion, firearms, watches, and some other crazy subjects because I've been doing a lot of different stuff for many decades. But that's enough chit chat, let's see some cars. Who'd have thought Mercedes makes a full-size S-Class that's actually a hybrid, and it's the S580 4MATIC. So this car got an incredible deal on. This is actually cheaper, more affordable than the Plaid, which is crazy.
Are you serious?
Way more affordable. I mean, both the payment and the purchase price. I think everybody kind of agrees S-Class has always been kind of the forefront of quality and comfort, 100%. Right? And so talk about how blessed I am. If God only let me have one car, I'd drive this all day.
This would be your one car solution.
Yeah, you're getting 50, 60 plus miles a gallon blended with the hybrid. You have over a 50-mile battery range on this. And you're getting 430 range total blended.
Yeah.
And you have a V6 twin turbo, and you're getting what you'd expect. You know, look at the diamond quilted finish. It's such a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, people are like, wait a minute, like this is more affordable than the Plaid. It really is. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a great car, and I wanted to share it with you because I love that light interior, that dark wood. I think it's a cool contrast.
And then when you're comparing to the Plaid, you can't compare the interior of the Plaid to this.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Again, I loved my Plaid. It was a joy to drive. But when you're talking about how practical it is, you know, you get nauseous because you're whipsawing with so many G's all day in that thing. I mean, literally, I had 4 big men in the car, and they were scared how quick it was. Truly scared.
Yeah.
But this car, we wanted to share it because I'm like, this is an example. You could, for 30, 40, 50, 100 grand, you know, get a really amazing car. I miss my Plaid, but what a great car. This is a joy. My dad was a car guy. My uncles are a car guy. Everybody's a car guy or gal. To have a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, I think this SUV, the V12 twin turbo, I think it's one of the smoothest, crispest, nicest cars out there. This has the Hermes orange interior. So to have the executive package and to have the 2 4K screens, the champagne cooler, the bourbon bar, the star ceiling, and a couple other surprises. This is probably the nicest car I may ever have and nicest car I've ever seen. They have the champagne cooler with 2 flutes, cold in there at all times when the car is running. And then you actually even have champagne holders that come out here or your coffee. Plus you have controls, you have the executive seats, you have 2 4K TVs, you have the lamb's wool, and you have a bourbon bar in here with a bunch of snacks we put in here. So actually, it's crazy.
You still need to show the back.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best parts.
Let's show the back. The dealer doesn't want to necessarily order the car with this one feature, but it's really cool. This has a rear tailgate package, and this is colors after my favorite alma mater, Cal State Fullerton, orange and blue. And so you have the ability to pull this out, sit in the back, tailgate, little thing, pops up. I also have an unopened container of bourbon and some glasses in the back. I have Cuban cigars in the back. Like Coors Light in college was expensive for me, so we drank Meisterbrow, Bergie, Keystone, Mickey's Big Mouth, anything we can get our hands on that was inexpensive. And Coors Light was gourmet. So to be able to have something like this in the back, this is a real joy. What do you think about the package?
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. If I may ask, what is something like this like cost to option in?
I think this is about 18 or 20 extra.
Got it.
You know,
but you've got your use out of it.
Yeah, we've gotten the use, and here's something that I think a lot of people that are mega collectors don't know. I think this insert comes out, so you could take the seats out, and you could actually put in a picnic basket insert or something. It's crazy. You can change it, and you can see here, Cuban cigars, water, wine opener, so you can carry stuff with you. I think it's amazing, and the Rolls, has even a piece of glass in the back, so the experience on this car, the paint, the quietness, I think it's one of the great SUVs they've ever created. And there's some great SUVs coming, and we're not allowed to call the upcoming Ferrari Puro Sangue an SUV, but that's going to be stunning. We'll talk about that later. This Range Rover, I think, is one of the best cars. It's a daily driver, and nobody knows that this is also now a hybrid. It's not the long wheelbase, but you get the autobiography, incredible package, that light, cream again interior, and you have the legendary Range Rover engine and transmission. I don't think there's probably a better all-wheel drive or off-road system out there, but you're really getting an incredible car for the money. Who'd have thought that this is getting 50, 60 miles or more a gallon? And if you're only using electric, it's zero emission.
Yeah.
So you're actually helping the environment. I don't want to start crying, but I think everybody that's a car person respects or likes Ferrari. I am not a one-car person, but I fell in love with Ferrari like a young kid and had the 288 GTO and the 308 on my wall as a kid. We all watch Magnum PI or the reboot, depending upon how old you are. But I think Ferrari does an amazing job, and this is the classic mid-engine, the 296 GTS Gran Turismo Spider. S stands for Spider or convertible. So this is a standard, really bright, crystalline Bianco. I did not spec this car. The dealer was gracious enough, and they thought because somebody didn't pick this car up that I was able to get it because I've been a long-time customer. I think this car is probably one of the best name. Again, this is that classic mid-engine, and nobody can believe that this is V6, not V8. V6 twin turbo, tuned to its sounds like nothing I've ever heard. The whine and the sound, over 800 horsepower, V6 twin turbo hybrid, like about 820 plus. For the money, and to get that kind of quality, the sound, the look, this thing is so quick and light on its feet. Now, it's not all-wheel drive. This is rear-wheel drive. But to think that this even takes like beasts, like the 911 twin turbo in the quarter, not off the line. But that tells you how hard this thing pulls. So this has the carbon racing seats. So usually for us older guys, this is not like you want a more comfort seat. But it came like this, and it's super comfortable. I think they nailed it. So you can do a long drive in here. The new electronics are amazing. You know, Ferrari's legendary with the dual clutch, you know, the paddle shift. And I think when you take a look at the inside with the red with white, it's just super clean. I think this is just a joy to drive.
This has to be like the perfect California car.
I think so. This car with the sound, again, the quickness on its feet, everything it brings to the table is great. Should we start it a little bit and get some noise?
So, yeah.
And for those of you that may not know, Ferrari has a thing that I call the baby plaque. It's cool, and remember, because it has the hybrid, and this is the mid-engine, there's no trunk in the back. This has the plaque here, and every Ferrari has the spec. So it has the model, the VIN, it has all the options.
That's
so
cool.
If you want to see about what a Ferrari has, I call it the baby plaque, but you look at that dedication plaque.
Beautiful.
And you actually have room to put something in here.
I know, I was just noticing that. It's very spacious.
It's for a car like this with a hybrid, it's extremely spacious. Thanks for, you know, hanging out a little bit and hearing some of my passion and my journey. Now let's go maybe back to the tailgate on the Rolls, and then let's hear about some of the cars I sold and some that are coming. So we're back at the greatest thing, the tailgate,
Yes.
ultimate tailgate. Soon you're gonna see SF90 Coupe, SF90 Spider, and then coming up, when you spec a car, Ferrari does an amazing job in Newport Beach and all the dealers. You can get almost anything you want. A next level up on specing a car is called atelier, and you've heard that word a lot in French or Italian. It could be atelier Louis Vuitton or atelier this. And that gets you more customization and a little bit more exclusivity. And then a highest level, without going into having them create a one-off, that's a tailor-made. And tailor-made can only be done at the Park Avenue in New York or at the factory. And I believe there's a third spot in China or at Pacific Rim. So there, you're a brand ambassador for a car. You have to literally get approved. There's only so many slots. So you have to have a tasteful car that the factory even loves, and that's a very special pedigree. And we'll get more into that customization and stuff coming up in later, so you'll be going behind the scenes and see what it's like to not just spec a car, but tailor-made a car together. I also have we don't call it SUV, but the first in a long time 4-door all-wheel drive suicide door Ferrari, the Puro Sangue, that will be tailor-made coming this year. And again, Roma Spider, Atelier is coming. And then I'm very blessed, the 12-cylinder Cilindri, both Coupe and then Spider Atelier will be coming. Will be unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
And some more surprises coming.
Like you said, we're talking about wines, we're talking about watches, and I noticed you have 2 on today. Is that usual for you?
It is. You know, my good friend Kevin O'Leary, one of the great Shark Tanks, and some of the other people always wear 2. So instead of having them only in the bank safe all the time, and you having to go there, take it out of the safety deposit box. You know, there's 10 or 15 amazing watch brands. One that's really started out hundreds of years ago as watches and became high jewelry, but now they're coming back with a roar, is Chopard. So if you haven't had a chance, you go to the salon in South Coast Plaza, and Chopard has amazing dials. This bright pink just came out. Gorgeous piece and very not ultra pricey like you'll see with some of the other major brands.
Right. And I can see why you wore that today. Look at what you got going on.
So we have, we try to always match shoes and slacks. What you're gonna find in one episode, one of there's some amazing tailors, but one of the best is Austin Taylor, Ron Vigiano in Orange County. So he will design anything you want. And I always try to do a theme. So on both sides of the jacket, this is my restaurant jacket. So we have some of the iconic ones from CDM, A's Restaurant, Angelini Osteria, Napa Rose, Mastro's Ocean Club, Javier's in Newport Coast, and on and on and on.
That's cool.
So it's cool. I always want to do a theme. This watch I'm really proud of. I think the greatest watchmaker alive today and one of the top 10 who ever created watches is Francois Paul Journe, FP Journe. And this is a discontinued model. This is a centograph that is a 1/10 of a second, not just a chronograph, but this is a 1/10 of a second. And the CEO of Ferrari, Jean Todt, asked Francois Paul Journe, FP Journe, to commission one to time Ferraris. So this one goes, you see how quickly it goes around. This actually times to the 1/10 of a second to give that hyper accuracy when you were doing race cars. Appreciate you hearing some of my passion and stories. We're gonna do a lot of amazing topics with amazing people together. Please stay extra safe, please stay healthy. Prayers for everyone out there. And there's more super exciting things to come in the future. Thanks again.